What's going on, Video Game Votary Vanguard? Welcome back to Video Game Votary. It's your boy P City Substance. We're here with another episode of WEBISODE Wednesdays. WEBISODE Wednesdays, we utilize the World Wide Web to add to the collection, whether it be games, consoles, collectible merch, you name it. So this is a very special episode to me. It's actually my favorite console of all time. I have so many childhood memories of this. Came out right around when I was in middle school. Mind you, I'm 33 years old. So, let's get straight to it. Released on June 23rd, 96 in Japan, September 97 in France, September 96 right here in North America and Brazil, and also in 97 in Europe and Australia. The Nintendo 64. I don't need to say too much more than that, man. It's just a great console. 64 bits. It was the third home console from Nintendo, following up from the NES and the Super NES. It was the last console to use cartridges as its main storage up until 21 years later when the Switch came back out with the smaller cartridges recently. Time magazine named it Machine of the Year. So that's how you know how big the N64 was at its time. And let me give you a brief history of how it is so sentimental and special to me. Like, this came out right around when I was in like middle school, and I remember my brother first got one during launch, and how just intrigued I was. I was always intrigued when the new consoles came out, but this was something different. This was something I kind of grew with and came into my own really with video games. And I remember just after school, with it having the 4 controller slots, you were able to have your friends over. If everyone had a 64, everybody was able to bring their controller over, and that was a constant thing. And I just remember Nintendo 64 just being the best multiplayer console of all time, and just being the most memorable for me as a child. From games like GoldenEye, 007, all the wrestling games, all the best wrestling games came out on Nintendo 64, hands down. And they're some of the greatest games in history. From started with WCW versus NWO World Tour, WCW versus NWO Revenge, WrestleMania 18, I believe. I can't remember the name, but there's a black cartridge. WrestleMania 2000, that's what it was. And also WWF No Mercy, best wrestling games of all time, hands down. Also had Diddy Kong Racing, Wave Race 64, of course Super Mario 64, Diddy Kong Racing, if I didn't say that already, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, which I believe that was the first console it came out on. Man, it was just so many names, just a great console. But back to some of the specs. Super Mario 64, Pilot Wings, and I'm gonna try to pronounce this, Saikyu Haibu, which was a Japan exclusive. Those games were available at launch with the Nintendo 64. It was part of the 5th generation of consoles, and at the time it was competing with the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn. At the time at launch, it was $199, which I guess back then was probably about the normal price for a console. It may have been a little under, and went on to sell over 32 million copies. IGN named it its 9th greatest console of all time. It was discontinued April 30th in 2002. Its best-selling game was Super Mario 64, which sold over 11 million copies. It was online in Japan. Also, an add-on was created for the 64 called the 64DD. The DD stands for disk drive, and that basically turned the 64 to the internet appliance through the expansion slot. Turned it to an internet appliance, multimedia workstation, expanded the game platform, and you were able to connect to RadNet, which I guess is some kind of online gaming service that was only in Japan. You were only able to connect to the internet here through a third-party service, which didn't last very long. Neither did the 64DD. It was discontinued after only 9 releases. A couple of them being Paint Studio, Talent Studio, Communication Kit, and Polygon Studio. Have no knowledge of any of them, but it's such a special console to me. Again, just so many great games to name. It was just like, you know, middle school was some of the most special years of your life, and you kind of just get into the preteen stage and you having your friends and stuff like that. And what Nintendo always have done well and continues to do well is basically a party format with your friends over, and you know, playing amongst your peers and your family versus playing online with strangers, which can be fun and something that I personally enjoy. But Nintendo continues to keep their consoles family oriented. That's kind of why it's kind of has a lot of more childish games and, you know, lighthearted, so to speak. So, but either way, the N64 was a beast when it came out. It just had so many great games. Again, that's my favorite console of all time, and that is a console I intend on trying to do a complete game collection on. Once I get all the consoles, or where I'm satisfied as far as the consoles, picking some more up here and there, but getting the core, which I'm close to, of the consoles I want, then I'm probably going to work more so on that library and building that up, and hopefully getting the complete North American copies completed. So again, I'm just so happy to have added this to the collection. I was actually looking for a while for a pretty good price. I wasn't big on getting different color variations of consoles. I may have different models of them, but I think I would like to look for a gold Nintendo 64, because I know that's rare and it looks super awesome. So if any of my subscribers or viewers out there, if you got one and you're looking to sell it, leave it in the comments section. Holla at your boy. Let me pick that up off you, throw you some money. So thank you to all the subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, turn that little bell on for the notifications so that you know first when the episodes and any information is brought to you. Let me know what you guys think about the Nintendo 64 as a whole down in your comment sections. Where do you rank it in your list of favorite consoles? Is it even on there? Did you enjoy it at all? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Also, don't forget to check out the VideoGameVotary website, which is thevideogamevotary.wordpress.com. You can log on to there. I post my my blog posts on there. I try to get on there often. It's not so much based on gaming, but basically you getting to know the real P-City substance. I basically vent, and I'm raw and uncut on there, so that may be something you guys can enjoy. Also links to all the podcast episodes as well as the Votary episodes as well. Also, don't forget to check out the Video Game Votary podcast, which is available on all podcast platforms. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, you name it. Don't forget to like and rate those episodes so we can get higher up and get to that front page and start building up the subscribers on the podcast platform as well, and just building up this vanguard. So like, share, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for everything that you've been doing. I look forward to hearing from you guys down in the comment section and switching things up a little bit. So this has been another episode of WEBISODE Wednesdays. This is your boy P-City Substance, and this is the Video Game Voter.